We all comfy on this couch, but I thought it was time that we dive into this conversation with Chrisette and clear up about 2016 and her performing for President Trump.
Travis Green and I sang a song about everything's going to be all right. It was basically what we were trying to say. And for Travis, it worked out. Travis's next album went to the top of the charts and toured around the world directly after that. And for me, it didn't. And so what I learned was so many things. Sometimes when you're trying to fix things, you're fixing from a place of brokenness. Mm-hmm. My place of brokenness was, oh, I'm just an R&B singer. Nobody knows I have a brain. Nobody knows I can help. Nobody knows I have something to say. Maybe this is the opportunity where I lend myself to an issue, mm-hmm. something that's scary, something that's uncomfortable. I think there was a wound there that I was speaking from. And then the other side was, like I said, that illogical optimism where you're like, I can help. And you can't.
You can't.
And so I think that I didn't help.
Yeah.
And I think it was kind of that simple for me, was, baby girl, like sometimes things are out of your league. Mm-hmm. That situation, that experience was out of my league. There was nothing I could do to save the day.
Yeah.
But when you have that kind of like optimism, you think you can save days.
That's a place of love.
It could be called that.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm older and wiser, it's a place of ignorance. Mm-hmm. It's a place of fear. It's a place of acting from fear, being petrified for your country, being petrified for what the world looks like in that moment, and wondering, what can my physical being do to fix this? Now when I look at crazy things happening in the world, I take more deep breaths. I take a look at the modalities that my community is using to solve the problem. And there are people who have genius in that space. There are people who understand how to create communities that solve problems. Mm-hmm. And instead of trying to create, sometimes you can just join. Sometimes you can be a part of. You don't always have to lead.
What was the feeling like when people turn on you and they don't listen and don't have a forgiving heart? What was that feeling like?
You asked 3 questions. What is it like when people turn on you? I didn't feel like they turned on me.
Okay, all right.
I felt like I did something to hurt someone, mm-hmm. and I needed to figure out exactly what the pain point was, because they turned on something I did. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to see, okay, exactly what did that look like to you? Did it look like to you I just needed an extra $1 million? Did it look like to you I needed attention for a new album I was coming out with? Mm-hmm. Did it look like I had some weird intention? Or did it look like I betrayed your trust? Did it look like I misrepresented your community? What exactly did you feel? Because that's the pain point that I need to sit with, to be with, to pray about, to think about, to acknowledge. So before I can come out of this quiet space, I have to see exactly what grieved you. Because sometimes when you hurt someone, what they do looks like anger. It looks like turning on you. But really, sometimes it's disappointment. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you actually hurt someone.
Yeah.
And so if I just want to be really cool and say, oh, I've got haters, I could have just internalized the feeling of hatred. Instead, I looked for where the love was, where the passion was. And sometimes passion needs communication, and that's what makes compassion. So you can be upset with me until we communicate. Mm-hmm. Then when we communicate, it becomes compassion. And then we get to have a relationship again. So the feeling was exactly, where are you hurting? And how can I address it? That was the feeling. So I never really felt like I was left outside all alone. I felt like, too, I needed to do some internal work. Chrisette, what the hell is wrong with you that you thought that was a good idea? Because clearly millions of people around the world, mind you, I was getting calls from parts of Asia and parts of Africa and places you can't even have my phone number. The world was upset. I didn't even know I was that famous.
Yes.
And so, Chrisette, what the hell is wrong with you? Let's do that internal work. And then finally, that word cancel. Can we figure out what that means for you today? Because it's yours to own, right? It's clearly here to serve you in some kind of a way. So how can it be of service? And so cancellation became of service through the modality of quietness, through the modality of introspection, and really through the modality of re-observing my community. What is my community doing right now? And how am I responding or reacting correctly and or incorrectly? Wow. I'm not gonna fix that. Whew.